Imagine a single night shimmering under the stars of ancient Alexandria, where the fate of empires and the course of a legendary love story were sealed. This isn't just a tale of two lovers, it's the story of a night that changed everything for Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Let's journey back to that pivotal moment. The year is 34 BC. Alexandria, the pearl of the Mediterranean, is a dazzling metropolis of marble, gold and scrolls of knowledge. But beneath the glittering surface, a current of tension runs deep. Mark Antony, the most powerful man in the Roman East, has been in Egypt for years, captivated not just by its queen, but by its immense wealth and strategic power. Back in Rome, his rival, Octavian, is watching, waiting for a single misstep to turn the Roman Senate against him. The air in the royal palace is thick with more than just the scent of lotus blossoms and exotic spices. It's thick with unspoken words, with political strategy, and with the heavy weight of destiny. Antony, a brilliant Roman general, finds himself torn. He's a man of action, a soldier at heart, yet he's also a man deeply in love. His heart belongs to Cleopatra, but his ambition, his very identity, is tied to Rome. Cleopatra is more than just a beautiful queen. She is a pharaoh, a goddess in the eyes of her people, and a razor-sharp political operator. She sees in Antony not just a lover, but the key to securing her dynasty and protecting Egypt from Rome's ever-expanding grasp. Her dream is a grand Eastern empire ruled from Alexandria, with her son Caesarion as its heir. This dream puts her on a direct collision course with Antony's Roman world. So, let's picture them on this one crucial night. Perhaps they're on a gilded barge floating down the Nile, or on a balcony overlooking the city's famed lighthouse. The conversation would have started with whispers of love, but soon the talk would have turned to power, to armies, to the future. This is the night of the donations of Alexandria. In a grand public ceremony, Antony declared Cleopatra queen of kings and her children, including his own rulers of vast territories. He proclaimed Caesarion, Cleopatra's son with Julius Caesar, as the true heir of Caesar. This was an electrifying moment, a public declaration of his allegiance to Egypt and to Cleopatra's vision. For Antony, this was a massive gamble. He was effectively carving up the Roman Republic's territories and giving them away. He was challenging Octavian directly, not just for political supremacy, but for the legacy of Caesar himself. Was this a strategic masterstroke, an attempt to build a power base in the East to rival Rome? Or was it the act of a man so blinded by love that he threw away his future? The truth, as always, is probably somewhere in between. Inside the palace walls, the emotional conflict must have been immense. Antony would have felt the pull of his Roman heritage, the voices of his comrades, the very essence of his identity as a Roman senator and general. He was betraying the system that had made him. He was turning his back on his own people. Imagine the turmoil in his mind, the conflict between his warrior's pride and his lover's devotion. Cleopatra, on the other hand, saw this as a triumph. She had finally bound Antony to her cause, not just with love, but with unbreakable political ties. For her, this wasn't about destroying Rome. It was about creating a new world order, a Greco-Egyptian empire that could stand as Rome's equal. She was fighting for her son's birthright and her kingdom's survival. Her ambition was fierce, born from a lineage of powerful rulers and a deep-seated fear of being just another conquered queen. Paraded through the streets of Rome, this night in Alexandria wasn't just a political announcement, it was a point of no return. Antony's actions were broadcast to Rome as treason. Octavian seized the opportunity, painting Antony as a puppet of a foreign enchantress, a man who had abandoned his Roman values. The propaganda was powerful and effective. He wasn't just fighting Antony anymore. He was waging a holy war against a decadent foreign queen who threatened the Roman way of life. The dramatic environment of Alexandria itself played a role. It was a city of spectacle, a stage for grand gestures. The donations ceremony was pure theater, designed to awe the Eastern world and solidify Antony and Cleopatra's divine status. The golden thrones, the royal regalia, the cheering crowds. It was a world away from the stern, republican austerity of Rome. In this intoxicating atmosphere, It is easy to see how Antony could be swept up in a vision so different from his own past. Their choices that night were driven by a complex mix of love, ambition, and desperation. Antony chose love and a new destiny, but in doing so, he sealed his fate. He underestimated Octavian's cunning and the deep-seated loyalty the Roman people had to their republic. Cleopatra, in securing her short-term goals, ignited a war that would ultimately consume her kingdom and her life. This single night set in motion the final act of their tragedy. It led directly to Octavian declaring war not on Antony, but on Cleopatra. This clever political move forced Roman senators to choose a side. The final confrontation at the Battle of Actium became inevitable. The tragic love story of Cleopatra and Antony is so enduring because it is about more than just passion. It's about the impossible choices we face when our personal desires clash with our public duties, when love is intertwined with power, and when two powerful people try to bend the world to their will. That night in Alexandria, they made their choice. They chose to build a new world together, but instead, they set the stage for their own destruction. It was a night of ultimate triumph that led to ultimate tragedy, a testament to a love so powerful it challenged an empire and lost, leaving behind a story that still echoes through the halls of history. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the dramatic intersections of love and power in history, be sure to subscribe for more stories like this one. See you next time.